This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Valkea Resources, Mr. Chris Donaldson. Chris, it's great to have you on. How are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks, Gerardo.
Well, listen, let's get right into it. We got a chance to catch up properly finally at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. The conference, I think you'd agree, was well attended, good energy, lots of money on the sidelines that's looking for a home. And it was interesting to me on the day before I left, 3 of my meetings were with companies, including Valkea, that are operating and exploring in Finland, which I have to be honest, Chris, when I started looking at the region, and you and I touched on this while there, but when I started looking at the amount of gold that's been discovered, the amount of majors in the region, and just the amount of exploration upside, I was blown away. I didn't fully appreciate just how fertile the mineralization is in Finland. And so of course, that extends to Valkea, which is primed to take advantage of that with the drill program that you just completed. It's the perfect time to get the story out to our audience because we're expecting assays, and you have a tiny market cap. So first and foremost, tell me about Finland and tell me about why you decided to focus on this part of the world.
Yeah, well, a couple things you touched on there. Yeah, first of all, the Vancouver conference has been pretty slow the last few years, and there was a definite shift in attitude and attendance and so on. So it was really pretty exciting to see, and I think the market's starting to kind of wake up. And you know, in terms of Finland itself, it's definitely a region that's becoming globally significant for gold production and exploration. And yeah, it's specifically the region that we're in, which is called the Central Lapland, which is up north. It's Arctic Circle area. And you know, we spent probably a couple of years looking for projects around the world. Really like greenstone belts because, as you mentioned, you know, they host fertile rocks and you know, tend to house, you know, multiple, you know, million ounce deposits. And this area is an area that's often compared to the Abitibi 100 years ago, in that it's only really been explored for the last 25, 30 years in earnest. And then specifically where we're at, we're right next to a mine called Kittilä. Kittilä is owned by Agnico Eagle. It is Europe's largest primary gold producer, and it's the region. So why we liked it? It was an area that was seeing investment, even in the tougher days a few years ago. And seeing discoveries and seeing some M&A. So, you know, all those things that you look for a project, plus the geology is there for the potential for some good discoveries. So certainly happy to be there. We've just finished our first initial drill program and are waiting for assays. It was probably the easiest program. I mean, it's never easy, but when I say that, I mean that, you know, we had the fewest kind of issues in getting it done. And Finland's been really, really great to work in so far. So, you know, give you an overview of what we acquired. We acquired 5 projects that we own 100%. The main being one called Paana. So Paana had a discovery or a pseudo discovery back in 2020. And then because of COVID, it was an Australian company that owned it. They weren't able to advance on it. So we had something to start with, and they had some existing, you know, pretty good hits, almost 7 meters at 12 grams, 20 meters at 4 grams. So we have something that we get to start from, and you know, we're really pretty anxious to see, you know, what potential scale it could be here, and we'll know that in the next few weeks.
Well, I mentioned that this is the perfect time to introduce the Valkea story to our audience. And the reason being, I love the region. I love early stage exploration. And I really love it when we have assays pending. And look, we know there's gold there. We know there's high grade gold there because we have historic holes, right? So my understanding is that these holes that we're waiting on assays are step outs on 25 to 50 meter centers between holes 62 and 71. Is that accurate?
Yep, that's right.
Can you touch
Yeah,
on
so
the
I
past
mean,
results there?
following up, we're following up some good hits, and it's really now trying to understand these high grade intercepts that we have. So one of the signatures of the Keela mine, which started open pit, so it had long sections of lower grade, but then it has these columns or plunges of high grade, and so this program, one, we want to reestablish the project and get a sense for the potential scale of what we have, but also it's developing a geological model to get a real handle on these high grades. So and we'll know that in the next few weeks. So it's really a pretty exciting time. And things could line up. There's a reason why there are a number of majors, not just Agnico in the area. You've also got B2 Gold that's there. You got Kinross Gold, and of course the big success over the last 4 or 5 years has been an exploration company called Rupert, who have the Ikari deposit, and they're coming out with their study here in Q1. And this is all within, say, 100 kilometers or 60, 70 square miles. So it's a really concentrated effort. There are a number of majors and very few juniors, and we've got a dominant position there.
Well, look, when do you anticipate assays? You mentioned the tens of millions of ounces that have already been discovered in the region. You mentioned how great it is to work in Finland. When can we get the first peek at assays there, Chris? What are you anticipating?
Yeah, I'm going to start getting them in the next week or so, and so early mid-February we'll be able to put something out and report to the market.
And again, just for upside here, folks, what's the market cap, Chris? Because I love tiny market caps in an area where you've already hit high grade.
We're just starting, so we're around a 10 million market cap, and definitely a lot of room to grow here if we have a little bit of success on this program.
Whole heck of a lot of upside. It's not going to take much to move the share price higher. Perfect timing. Chris, thank you so much for allowing me to kind of share the story with our audience here. Looking forward to following back up as soon as those assays start trickling in.
Okay, thanks. Stay in touch.
All right, chat soon. Cheers. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.